Hey everyone, and welcome back to the 52-week GovCon Basic Series for Subcontractors. I'm your coach, Akiesha Foster, and I just want to make sure that I keep bringing to you good content, lots of energy, and just explaining to you all the things that come with being a subcontractor and government contracting. And so I did a little research digging deep into, some of the challenges that most small business face. And one of those things is common problem is many of the small businesses just don't know where they fit in the GovCon landscape. They're trying to figure out the bigger picture. Where do I fit? What should I be working on? What should I be doing? So what I'm trying to do is break down what it means, what it means to be a subcontractor. How are these relationships working and why subcontractors are vital in the government contracting ecosystem. Sometimes you're going to need a subcontractor. So given this one event is we were going after this opportunity. No one had the expertise at acquisition and the position required at acquisition SME. So therefore, I was able to come on as a subcontractor because that position needed an expert. First of all, you had to have over a certain amount of years of experience. You had to have your certifications and so forth and so on. Then you had to be a member of the NCMA. So those are different reasons and ways you can become a subcontractor. So that's why I wanted to make sure I really explain to you. And they don't know. So that's why I said, you know what? We're going to break this down. And that way, when you lead into the next video, when I'm explaining everything in subcontractors, you'll already know because we've covered it. Okay, they assume only prime contractors win meaningful work. I've worked with several small businesses who've only been a subcontractor their whole career. The whole time they've been working with DOD and they make good money. So don't sleep on being a subcontractor. And then there's a belief that subcontractors are less important or they're outside. No, being a subcontractor can be very fulfilling. So my solution to you for those issues is subcontract. You just got to do it strategically. You got to know when and when not to subcontract in. And because many large primes can't win without a solid, reliable sub, especially if you come in with an expertise. So I always recommend you start off as a sub when you're first coming off or you've been a government employee and you want to learn how to do government contracting. And that way you'll learn the difference, because being a contracting officer, contracting specialist, when I got out and started building my business, it was totally different because now you're on the other side. Now you're trying to build these relationships that you normally had access to, but you no longer have access to anymore. So it is definitely a learning curve. And then you having to run the day-to-day. You're having to do the business development, the capture, the proposal writing. You have to manage your team and so many other things that when you were working as an employee, you had one role, one job, and maybe a couple additional duties, but that was it, one job. So the difference is you have to contribute to the larger contract, learn the process, and position yourself for future prime opportunities. I'm a proponent of starting as a subcontractor. You have to get the expertise and then get the foundational training first. So understanding what is a subcontracting government contract. A subcontractor is hired by the prime contractor to complete part of the work for a government contract. You don't directly deal with the government, but you play a vital role in project success. So remember, you are dealing with the prime contractor. You're not. So say you want to work for DHS. Well, you're working for a prime contractor who works for DHS. You still gaining experience because with DHS, it's hard to get on with them. They're using contracting vehicles, and most small business don't have contracting vehicles. They're just getting started. So this is a way to just get started with the agency that you're looking to work with. For whatever reason, you want to work with that agency. You decided that I want to work with that agency. Okay. And the best way to do that is to start with the prime contractor, because the prime contractor is going to hold you to adhere to the standard. And then that way you'll learn the way that the agencies, and they're going to be a little bit more strict. So that's why it's important to learn that way of doing business. You have to learn, okay? Then next, the key roles of a subcontractor is mainly to be a subject matter expertise. You're normally going to fill a gap. Maybe they're missing a cybersecurity expert. Maybe they're missing the acquisition expert or the data developer or engineer, those key service gaps. So, but if you're doing like janitorial services, that's not a subject matter expertise. We're talking about specialized skills when I say key roles for subcontractor. Now, you can be a subcontractor for the janitorial services or landscaping service, but that one is, you don't have to have a specialized degree to get that. All you have to have your license and then you're competing with other small businesses who have that experience. So when I say fill a gap, I'm saying a specialized, providing that technical expertise. And then you help it to meet. So say if it is the small business goals, because of the administration change and so many things, I don't want us to rely on the different woman-owned small business, the diversity and rely on your skills, because they haven't taken that away. The administration is going to always change, but if you rely on those skills, having your certifications, continuous education, you will be fine. Just keep going, keep getting that expertise, getting that training, and then support efficiency for delivering on those projects. So you got to make sure you're delivering on those projects. And then why subcontracting matters in GovCon and how it pays out. Subcontracting is more than just a side opportunity. It's a strategic move. You're trying to get into this agency. You don't have a past performance. You just started your business. It's a way to get started. That way you gain real past performance to strengthen your future bids. You gain relationships. So say if you go after another opportunity in the future, okay, I work with ABC company and they did a good job. I'm going to reach out to them again and see if we can connect again, or they may reach out to you. It's about building those relationships. And then you're learning how to navigate the federal contracts, compliance, and reporting. You're learning all those things. And then you're generating revenue, but you have to stay within your capacity. If you're a one-man team, you have to stay in your capacity, because you're still going to have to do your processing payroll. You're still going to have to submit those monthly status reports or weekly status reports, whatever the deliverables that agency has requested. And that is why I always say start off as a subcontractor working for that prime, because then the prime can get all those things in, and then all you're responsible is for that one little piece of the work for your expertise, and then you provide that report to your prime, and then the prime will take that report and consolidate it with their report and then submit it to that agency. So that's why I say it pays to do subcontracting. I've been doing it my whole time because I never wanted those conflict of interest. So I always did consulting or coaching or something like that, always a sub tier, always at a different agency. So there was never a conflict of interest. And so now that I've retired and I've been able to really focus full time on growing the educational base for this community of subcontractors and really putting things together, and then actually being able to go after more opportunities, because now my interests are no longer divided. So that's been a blessing. So this moving forward, that's why I'm trying to get all the trainings out here, get all this content out here, because I got to grow some small businesses who understand what it takes to win in government contract. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But if you get the basics out the way, then you're ready to perform. You've learned the foundation, you set your foundation, and you're ready to get those opportunities. Okay, so now tips for becoming a successful, know your niche. All right, know your niche or niche, however you want to say it, the value that you're going to bring. Build those relationships. Make sure you're registered in sam.gov, and then stay active on Subnet, the Small Business Connect, and that's that new platform. So if you go right here and you can see right here, go right to the Small Business Connect. They've got it updated. Sign in, put your company information, then it's going to pop up. Then once you go in there, just search and look how they're doing everything now. So clean and neat. Well, it's good for us. I mean, we always getting used to the SBA's DSBS profile, but they're switching, they're changing it. So, but I love it too, because if you're only looking for next code, it looks good. So go in there, test this out, see if you like it, see what's going on with you, and make sure your stuff stays updated. And you see they're putting our capability statement links in here now. Make sure you have a good narrative up here, because now that they've narrowed down the narrative, then I'm going to go in again and do some more changes. changes, because you just keep, every time they change the system, you have to update your stuff so that way they can see when they pop on here, you want them to catch your attention. So now, because they've changed the way they're viewing things, and I have to go in here and change, because while I want to say Key to Life Professional Service LLC, and then say that's wasted space, I'm gonna go in there and fix that and put that, because you wanted to be able to, the capability narrative is just like the business card. You put just a snapshot. You got a snapshot for them to see what you have, and that way, ooh, we want to do business with her, or we want to do business with them. So that's some good things I learned about this new system since I've been doing the training, updating everything. And soon as they make a change, I go in there and try to update as soon as possible, because now you have to change everything to go to that system. So make sure you go in there and update your SBA small business search. Okay. Then making sure you understanding the SAM.gov. So you know where SAM.gov is. SAM. Okay, hold on. Let me go pull that up too. Making sure you understand the importance of the SAM.gov. So when you're going on SAM.gov, remember, because we're looking at the contracting opportunities, and this is where you have to register for your entity, and you have to sign in to register for your entity. They won't let you see other businesses if you don't sign in sometimes. So that's why I always recommend you sign in, so that way you can see other business. But now that they have the advanced SBA small business search, that's going to be good too. So if you don't have a SAM registration at this time, it hasn't stopped you from coming in here to find teaming partners and understanding other small businesses. Okay. And then develop that standout capability statement. And then I can show you, because let me click on the capability statement so you can see that well. I tried to keep it something simple, sweet, get straight to the point, getting you the information that you need, so that way they can make a decision. Do they really want to work with you or not? So definitely have a clean, easy. You don't have to do a lot. Send it to somebody, send it to someone to get them to edit it and update it for me. And that way you keep it current and active. And then the last thing, the subnet. I don't know if they've changed that. I'll check to make sure, because, I have to go in here and check everything, because they've changed everything. Subnet contracting. Let's see if they changed it. There it is, subnet. Okay, so that's still working for now. So always go in here and check to see if the different functions are still working. And if you're in the state of Maryland like I am, you just go to Maryland and see what opportunities are available. You have to stay checking these different resources. Check them every week. Just schedule it on your calendar and check these resources, because this is how you're going to be successful in the government contracting space, especially when you're just a subcontractor. And you could be very lucrative, because you're getting to know these relationships. They're telling you what next code they're looking for, what area and the place of performance. So this is a great place to check it out. And then we've already did that. And that's how you search for the teaming partners at the SBA small business search. And then also wanted to talk to you about, I didn't put that on the slide, but the USAspending.gov. This is how you look for teaming partners too. You just go in here, recipients, when you've looked them up on the small business search, the new SBA small business search. And if you want to see, but now if you're a subcontractor, you might not be in there, because they don't have to put that in there unless you're on a subcontracting plan. But if you want to just check to see if businesses, this is where you're going to check to see if they have the agency that you want to go work for or work with. Because you see right here, they have the UEI, and say you want to work at Lockheed and Martin, you click on here and see if they have the agency that you want to work at. And say you want to work at DOD, and okay, I definitely want to work with them, because they have the DOD, and then you reach out them. But if they're large, if you're small, start off with small businesses. Small businesses work with other small, they're a little bit more flexible. The larger business expect you to have a team. They expect you to be established. They expect you to have everything together. So always recommend you start off small. New startups should start off with small. So where do subcontractors fit in government contracting, right? Think of it like a relay race. The prime contractor starts the race, and you as the subcontractor helps them carry the baton. Okay. So I already showed you those tools to understand and position you. We went to SAM.gov. We did the USAspending.gov, the SBA small business search, and then the capability statement, because you're going to need that still. and you might as well practice with it now, so that way you're good at it. And then, so when it's time for you to submit as the prime contractor, you've already established that. You've already had well established capability statement. And then make sure you build your relationships on LinkedIn, because I use LinkedIn for everything, to network, to build relationships, and people follow me, and then I follow people that I want to continue to grow that relationship with. And then take action this week. Take action. Identify 2 to 3 prime contractors in your industry. Research their past awards via usaspending.gov or sam.gov, because both of them do past awards. So you can check either. Start planning how your business could fit into one of their teams. So how can the business fit after you've researched it? And then subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss weekly updates and guides, so that way I can guide you on this journey. And if you like this video, like and share the video, please. And then see you in the next video. And until then, keep building, keep learning, and keep showing up, because that's the only way you're going to make it in this space. All right, y'all. Till next time. Bye.
How they say, get them dollars.
Yes.
Get that paper, all that. But you're doing it the right way.
Right.
Not everybody
Right.
Okay. And we trying to build the community.
What is your definition of success?
My definition is you're happy. Every morning you get up and you're like, oh, I can't wait to get in there on that computer, get my, look, I'm ready and up. That was success for me.
Yeah.
Just being able to answer the phone, talk to my family,
Yeah.
enjoy work, and get up just smiling and happy, know. Let's talk about the importance of having a coach. A coach challenges you, keeps you accountable, and helps you unlock your full potential. And as a GovCon coach, this is exactly what we do for our small business. We provide guidance, strategies, and support needed to navigate the complex world of government contract. And together is how you reach new heights. And the best athletes out there know this: the Simone Biles, the Shakira Richardsons, the Serena Williams. So if you feel like you are ready to take it to the next height, join the group coaching program. Take care now.